So the goal of this project is to display a static byte on the Moreland shift register bar graph, coded in some sort of assembly language. I chose to code in AVR assembly through Atmel Studio 7, and I'll explain how it works. Right now, I can display the value hex AA, that's MSB first. So essentially, the way that my code is structured, as shown by the shell code here, is first you set up, in the setup function, you establish a byte order by loading in either a 0 or a 1, a 0 being LSB first, and a 1 being MSB first. And you can use the SBRS command, which is skip if bit and register is set. So if it's a 1, you'll go to MSB first. If it's a 0, you go to LSB first. So LSB would be bit 0, shown here, and MSB would be bit 7. Here's our value, our hex AA value, written out in a binary, just to illustrate. So the way a shift register works is as a clock pin is pulsed 8 times on the rising edge, meaning if this was our clock pulse here, on the rising edge of the clock pulse is when data gets shifted in. So you have to differentiate whether the data, that bit of the data is set or cleared through either LSB or MSB methods. In LSB, if you ANDed the least significant bit of hex AA with this, it would be all zeros, and if it was MSB first, it would be all ones. So as you go through the LSB or MSB commands and establish what the mask would be, hex 80 or hex 1, you'll go into the shift command, which pulls your clock low, so you can put in new data. You'll put the latch low, so that none of the data while you're shifting it in is being displayed. You AND the data with the mask, so as the mask moves along, you'll replicate this byte, either left to right or right to left. And depending on whether the result of that AND statement is a 1 or a 0, you'll either go to the clear or set bit tags. Clear bit would set the data to 0, and a set bit would set it to 1, so it could be clocked in. This would be a high pulse would represent 1, low represents 0. You pulse the clock, rising edge, data gets shifted in, lowering edge out, and you will either shift the mask right or left. Finally, just to show that my code is working, I will upload it, that's hex AA in MSB first, and then I will change the byte order, rebuild the solution, and upload it in LSB first.